The story of Whitin is the story of the Industrial Revolution in Massachusetts. It starts with an agricultural community on the banks of the Blackstone and Mumford rivers, and it finishes with the largest textile machinery company in the world.
Within 50 miles of Boston, in south-central Massachusetts, is a manufacturing village, which socially and politically is one grand and glorious contradiction. It is one of those communities where capitalism, feudalism, and communism walk down the main streets hand in hand. So reads a newspaper article from the 1920s, marveling at the success of the Whitinsville community. The family had continued to lead the company and the town through the turn of the century, and had now built not just great wealth for themselves, but a thriving community that upon hearing the call of the factory whistle, headed to work.
The town was, in my estimation, run like a military reservation. Everyone knew their status based on where they lived and what the job was that they occupied or their parent occupied in the White Machine Works.
My father worked in the foundry. My mother was a house mother.
I was the first baby born on Woodland Street, one of the White Machine Works tenements. My father was a steam fitter, and he spent his whole life here working, 40-some years.
My father was a very smart man. He came down from Canada, and he got a job over at Draper's, but he didn't know many French people, so he came to the White Machine Works.
Oh, I was born in Clemens, which is a section of town of Northbridge. My parents came from Poland.
Actually, the White Machine Works brought most of the immigrants here to town. The Armenian people, the Dutch people, the French Canadians all came here to work at the White Machine Works.
There were many, many different cultures in this town as a result of working in the shop. They all worked together in the shop and lived together, and somehow it all worked.
Whitin was not noted for the wages they paid, but they were noted for taking care of their people.
Most of everybody I knew, they were working at the shop.
Oh, you had to. There was nothing else except here at the ring shop. But it was expected that a job was there.
Yes, and the assumption was that everybody would work until they died. The war started in December of '41.
A lot of the men were leaving. They were hiring women. It was a tough time. People were working night and day in the shop.
They had a strike in the spring of '46.
There's a big push throughout New England. All these companies that made machinery that hadn't been organized are now being organized. This place is ripe for the taking in a way because you have such a skilled workforce. You have pattern makers, you have foundry workers, you have skilled machinists, you have tool makers. People show up here and begin to make the case that you can't eat paternalism. Your wages are lower than the wages of other people. Stand on your own 2 feet. Why are you letting this family boss you around? So all of that's sort of churning, right? As the water's going over the falls, I guess you could say it.